Dana Abercrombie, The Coalition. Thank you both so much for speaking to me. This season so far, what I've seen was amazing. And of course, the show itself was phenomenal as a whole. What I wanted to know from both of you is what was the final statement that you wanted to make with this season that you probably didn't get a chance to make with the previous ones?
Oh gosh, Dana, that is a fantastic,
It's so great.
fantastic question. I think um it's sort of twofold. One is, and probably maybe I'd argue the most important one, is the importance of family and legacy. And without giving too much away or spoilers for the season, that is explored from every possible aspect you can think of. It is explored from Jordan sort of stepping into uh, this sort of mentor, big brother, uncle type role in Khalil's life, the way Billy sort of stepped into Spencer's. It is Layla and Jordan sort of finding their feet as a newlywed couple and still youthful themselves, but sort of now adults and how they're trying to leave their imprint on the ones who look up to them. It's through Coop and her pursuit of law, which is going to require her to really revisit her past and take stock of how she got here, who played a role in her getting here, what family means, what you're willing to
Mhm.
sacrifice for family. It is Jordan's search for Billy's brother. That we hinted at the end of last season with the idea that there was an older brother who was given up for adoption. You know, Jordan, he loves him a mystery. He may not be the best at solving them, but he loves a mystery. It is explored through our new characters with Coach Cassius Jeremy and KJ, his son, our new Beverly coach and the new Beverly quarterback. And really, we wanted to do something there that we didn't get a chance to do with Spencer because he had such a fraught relationship with his father and because his father was gone for so long. And then when he came back, there were still complications. Here, we've got a father and son that truly have grown together as best friends. This is a father who is ever present in his son's life. Not a perfect human being, and we will come to see that, but this relationship, respect and love, and this beautiful bond that exists between this Black father and his Black son was so important to us as an anchor and as a main story point as they navigate being the fish out of water on this underdog team, as they navigate sort of family secrets and how they deal with that. Every single character in some way, Khalil, played by Antonio Bell, played brilliantly by Antonio Bell, and sort of what family means when you're used to one way of life, but finally someone sees something different in you and you have a shot for a future. How do family ties and family loyalty play a role in that? So, yeah, I think, look, I could talk about this for the next half hour, but I think that's probably the biggest theme that threads through everything.
Same for you, Jamie?
Um, it's funny, like statement wise, I can't emphasize enough is it's the power of honesty. It's
Mm.
the power of it's the power of authenticity. It's the power of because to me and to us as a whole, we always feel like that's the thing that lands no matter what. And NK touched on it, like having an opportunity to kind of tell a story about a young Black dad and his son and and the growth and the best friend nature of it and how in a lot of ways it kind of it reminds me of like my relationship with my pops. Growing up, I was fortunate. I was a bit of an anomaly, you know what I mean, in my neighborhood because I there was a presence that my dad provided, you know what I mean, and for me and for others. And so kind of seeing that reflected in that character, and then obviously kind of seeing how it's reflected in Jordan and the impact of like sports as a whole. Like I don't think people understand like, you know, sports is more than just the plays and what you do on the football field. Sports is family. Sports is unity. Sports is the foundation for hard work. You know what I mean? Sports is the foundation for leadership. You know what I mean? You start to understand and really kind of step into your voice, you know what I mean, as a young person through sports. You really start to understand who you are, through team sports. And so having an opportunity to kind of tell a show, kind of tell a story about a sports-based show, but it's really about the foundational rules of life and finding a way to kind of inform that like through that medium is beyond important to me.
That's kind of what I wanted to ask with the next question is finding that balancing act of this is sports, but this is also family, and that connective kind of throughway where one has to reflect the other. Where do you start with first? Is it the sports play to represent what's going on off the field, or is it off the field transitioning into the sports?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Because it's funny you mentioned that. This is just us giving you a little free game in terms of editing. Like sometimes you'll have a bunch of sports plays in a sequence and all that other stuff, but then you ask yourself, if this moment isn't emotionally resonating, like how important is it? And I don't mean that in a negative way, but like how we're basically drive every sports montage, every sports sequence is always emotionally based. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's as simple as, it's as simple as, a failure to a great height in terms of success. It's almost like you make the mistake to then kind of get it back. And so sports and the ebbs and flows that kind of happen within a game is life. So I always feel like it's always rooted in those two characters and what that character needs to do for this other character or what that other character is expecting from that other character. So it starts with the character and then it's reflected and it lands through the play or through the game.
And there are times where, because while I watch football, listen, don't ask me, I will tell you the wrong terminology for everything football related. And so there are times where I will call our football experts and I'll be like, okay, Amy, this is what KJ is going through in his life. I need 3 plays that are going to represent this on the field and show how he has to let X, Y, and Z go before something happens. Okay, go.
Yep.
And she'll be like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Like, we can have him start here. And she will use her football expertise to help me craft the play that is enhancing the character storyline we're telling that episode.
Yep. And theme also matters too. Connecting theme to it is a big part of it as well. Connecting theme of the episode to that scene plays, to that play plays as well.
And then kind of lastly, for both of you, what is the legacy of All American?
I literally had this conversation with Daniel Ezra like 2 days ago. We were sitting in my office talking and like what we are most proud of on the show in terms of our legacy. And truthfully, I think the thing I'm most proud of that is going to be the legacy of All American is that through however many seasons we end up going, hopefully it's more than 7, but because we've been able to stay on the air so long, similar to our characters in the show, we've been able to have cast and crew members pursue their impossible dream and help it come true. So we've had actors become directors on the show. We've had gaffers become DPs on the show. We've had assistants become writers, assistants become producers, become directors. Like if there's a dream a crew member has of, an aspiration to move beyond their position, if it's within our power on the show to train them up and help them reach that next level, we do it. And, Daniel and I were sitting around talking the other day and we were like, oh my gosh, do you remember in season 1 when so-and-so was doing this and now they're directing next week's episode? And it just gives us so much pride the way the whole work family celebrates everyone's success on the show, that whenever this is said and done, and we've had 90% of the same crew since season 1, that when this is said and done, everyone is leaving this show in a better place than how they came into it, whether it's as a human, whether it's health-wise, whether it's dream-wise. And I truly think that is the thing I will forever be most proud of.
Thank you both so much for speaking to me. Excellent series, excellent everything.
Thank you, Dana.
It was a pleasure.
Appreciate you.